Yo, what's good? You already know I'm Ken Wall.
It's your boy Deja Wonder.
You guys are tuning into another episode of Understated. Let's get it.
Come on now!
Alright, so today, we already know, we've been hyping this up since last episode. Indigo. Indigo. Chris Brown Indigo album came out last Friday, June, what was it?
28th.
June 28th. June 28th, 32 songs?
Yeah, June 28th. 32 songs.
Today's the 1st.
Of July, so it's the 28th.
32 songs, playlist type album. That's what I call it. Mm-hmm. Basically a playlist. Not gonna lie, like I said, because it's very long, so I can't re-listen to it. So I only listen to it once. Usually I do a good job of listening to an album twice before I say anything. This is just too much. I can't listen to...
I didn't listen to the last two songs, so I listened to 30 out of 32 tracks. It was a chore to listen to.
How you? I'm saying how? Like, talk to me, bro.
And we're gonna get into why now. Yeah.
All right. So first and foremost, would you recommend this album? Or
first and foremost, what we're gonna do is go back to your original comment at the beginning of the year that Chris Brown was gonna have the biggest year of 2019.
I'm not. Quums, we're only in June. We're only in, July 1st.
Hey, we're in July 1st.
July 1st. Mm-hmm. We have August, September, October, November.
Yeah.
December's kind of done. But he's still got time to drop some more music.
From what? From this crappy album? He's already released
maybe he could blow up from something else. Maybe a meme or something could come along. But all I'm saying is, I'm not going to lie. I could be wrong. I'm not gonna switch my position. I still think he can have the biggest year of 2019. But
I don't see it happening.
I'm worried about it. That's what I mean.
Right.
Especially with this album.
You could sugarcoat
this album.
As you
but
want. Chris Brown having no big year, and his album is a dud. It's about a 5. I would give it a 5 out of 10.
Would you recommend it?
No.
I wouldn't
recommend this. This album is literally boring, and it's a chore to get through.
Okay,
all
right.
And I want to preface this. I, growing up, was one of the biggest Chris Brown fans. After the Run It video, because I was one of those kids, I was like, I can dance better than Chris Brown. And then after Run It came out, I watched Yo, and I was like, okay, I definitely can't dance better than Chris Brown. But I started liking the music. So I've been a fan of his since he dropped in, 2006. And I thought his first album was great. I liked Exclusive. I didn't like the third album. I thought that was kind of weak. The one after he beat up Rihanna. That album wasn't great. Then, I'm a big fan of Fame.
Fame is, I think my favorite album.
I think that's his best album in the last decade from him. The other albums. And then this one, I gave Heartbreak on a Full Moon a real opportunity. Several listens. I thought those were just a bunch of filler tracks. And this follows the same path. So, he's not winning me over, and I think he has a lot of work to do.
Okay, so let's do things a little different. Let's do things a little more scripted and a little more concise. So, let's start off with favorite songs.
Okay.
Then, what you liked about the album.
Okay.
Then what didn't work about the album. What you would change about the album.
All right, sounds good.
All right, so to be honest, unless you're a diehard Chris Brown fan, it depends on where you land on the spectrum. I'm not a crazy, I really like Chris Brown, but at the same time, I'm not crazy about it. So if it was me, if I met someone that was like myself, I would tell them to maybe skip out on this album. But if you're a diehard Chris Brown fan, you like supporting his stuff, go support it. That's me.
Yeah, if you listen to his previous works, I think you should give this one a fair shake and say, I'm going to give it a try, and then make your own decision. Obviously, don't just take our word for it. But, if you're a fan, check it out. You deserve to check out his project.
Next, what were your favorite songs? Mine were Undecided and Back to Love.
That's pretty much it for me.
Those are the only songs.
Temporary Love was kind of... I know some people I've read online were bigging that song up. I liked Burgundy. I liked Aura. Some of the
Burgundy's good. Burgundy's good.
He tried to do, like I said, he was trying to be slick, I guess, or his label was trying to be, whoever was trying to be slick by combining 2 songs into one.
Yeah,
you know,
he
the
had like
shorter,
4
it's like
songs that
it's
were
like,
like
bro,
that.
it's still like a 40-something
It's still-
track album. You just combine 2 songs into one. So
No guidance. You know how I feel about Drake
yeah,
singing with actual singers.
that
I don't-
song should have been way more hyped than it was. I didn't think these 2 artists coming together would create such a mellow track. And I noticed there's been a push to try to make it bigger than it is because you have these people on Instagram dancing
keep
to it.
using it.
Yeah, they keep dancing and using it, but I'm like, the song's really...
That ain't it.
To me, it's
Chief.
not going to go anywhere.
Nah.
Just like Wobble Up. It's like, yeah, it hits when it first comes out, but then like in terms of longevity on the radio, I'm just not seeing it. Now, if you go on Spotify, you go on the streaming platforms and you see it, it's like, yeah, it's getting like millions of plays. But in terms of being the songs that will last and be the summer anthem, I don't see any of them matching that description. So there's few songs on the album that I actually like that doesn't feel like generic filler to me.
Like I don't want to waste that section, that part of the video, but I really felt like Undecided and Back to Love felt more recently made
That's true.
compared to most.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why those stood out to me the most, because they just felt more recent and new, and they had work involved in them.
They seem more mature, if that makes sense. I don't want to make it sound like it's like, oh, yeah, you want like love ballad, old like lovey-dovey type stuff. But I mean, in terms of looking at Chris Brown's maturity and the types of music that he can make versus the other type of music that mostly fills up this album, you have these rare gems of songs that actually, I think, resonate with more people than not. That they are so rare on this album that it's just, you feel like you're listening to the same old stuff that you've been listening to.
That's definitely what it felt like. So the bad things about this album.
I'll let you.
First of all, it wasn't really. Chris Brown doesn't really do this that much, but there was no concept to it. I didn't like that. Mm-hmm. I didn't like that, especially because Chris Brown is maturing more, so I want to know more about Chris Brown, what he's going through, especially with his daughter and stuff. That would be nice to know. It didn't. A lot of people were saying it was a really cohesive album. I just felt like a bunch of songs, like a playlist. Like I said, when you do 32 songs, it's not going to be a cohesive album because it's just really a bunch of songs for streams.
I would really question if people know the definition of cohesion and cohesiveness, because this album is a hodgepodge of songs literally just thrown together, and there's no real there's nothing to it that stands out to me that really connects the songs.
Yeah.
I don't understand where this cohesiveness comes from, and the songs sound very much like Heartbreak on a Full Moon, where it's just different sounds together.
Yeah,
it's like he's still doing riding the Caribbean wave of
which brings it's just like that. I don't think Chris Brown. Those songs obviously were made back, way back, and especially like we said with Undecided and Back to Love, it was a completely new sound, and it sounded way better. So it's like, those songs had to have been just throwaways.
Well, Undecided, they took the beat from that old song. I can't remember the name of it. It's a sample. But I agree with you that it's those are the reasons why it stands.
Because I don't think he's trying to do the Caribbean wave now.
Yeah, I think I agree that I believe that it may have been older songs that he put on the album. Because these guys are cranking out songs like crazy. Yeah, it's like, what am I gonna do with them? And we can go into why he would put this many songs out on an album as well. I want to touch upon something you mentioned that I thought was interesting. You said that he doesn't really talk about the fact that he has a daughter. Now, some people be like, well, why does he have to? He doesn't necessarily have to, but this is my issue with when it comes to maturity of Chris Brown and his music. It sounds very much like the music that he was making prior. There's no level of maturity that's coming with the music. And I think that's part of it. Either Chris Brown himself hasn't matured as a writer, or he doesn't have mature writers writing for him.
I think it's his team. I don't think... I give the benefit of the doubt to Chris Brown. I think his team is just feeding him nonsense.
I'm just really concerned about that, because I'm like, as an artist, this is why artists don't necessarily have longevity in these games, is because their music doesn't necessarily mature. It doesn't grow past a certain point. And it's like, even to Wobble Up, I'm like, Chris Brown, how long are you going to be singing these types of songs? Are you going to be doing this into your 40s? Chris Brown has the benefit of being the youngest in the R&B game that stayed in the R&B game.
Yeah.
Trey Songz, you've noticed, he's not able to command the audience that he used to, even though he was singing songs that were like, it's like,
back then, like, Usher is hard. Usher can't really sing. God damn.
Yeah. Exactly.
Usher can't even get a song on the charts, really.
Exactly.
I get it, hasn't been dropping that much stuff, but it's still hard for Usher to drop a song. Like, that's really weird.
Your audience that grew up with you, in a way, ages out. And you saying, like, wobble on the dick, it's just like, it's not gonna it resonates with the younger crowd. I'm not gonna be singing that shit. So it's like, at some point, you have to grow with your audience and stop trying to appeal to the younger crowd and find a way to bridge that gap.
That's what I mean. Otherwise, I think it's the label.
Yeah.
I go always appeal to the young. No, that's not. That's why I think it's a lot of the team and the people behind Chris Brown that are feeding him just pure bullshit. Like,
it's true.
They don't know what they're doing with him.
And you look at it, even from a visual perspective with his music videos, Chris Brown right now still hangs his major appeal factor in this industry, just from a visual standpoint, is the fact that he can still dance.
Yeah.
But it's like, the dance moves, I think everybody has recognized, have become stagnant.
He's not coming out with no Michael Jackson
exactly,
type moves.
And it's just like, we live in an Instagram world where everybody's a dancer now, and you have all these kids, young and old, pop locking and doing all these crazy stuff. You've got
looking better than Chris Brown, to be honest.
Exactly,
like the Les twins.
So it's like, how long are you going to use this dancing thing to really hold you over? It's not. It's going to get played out, and I hope this message resonates. It's like that once the dancing goes, people are only going to have one thing to focus on, which is the music, and the music is not. It doesn't age well. He doesn't have classics like that anymore.
Yeah.
Just realistically
it's
speaking,
hard now.
it's just really hard, and he's putting out singles that, they're hot for the period that they come out with, but they're not being played all year.
I think going back to the more specifically the album should have had more undecided songs. That's why I like Fame.
Yeah.
Fame had a nice balance of serious, fun party songs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it had a nice balance. Like Rock Paper Scissors.
What?
That was a good song. Then you had Beautiful People on there. You had a lot of like very different but songs that still worked in that album. This album didn't. It just felt like most of the same stuff, and then you had Undecided all of a sudden, which is a very good song that should have been. I'm surprised it didn't chart. It charted pretty decently, but I thought it was going to do better, because that was like. That's what I thought. I was like, yo, Chris Brown, this dude is he's going back to form.
Yeah,
that's what I thought. I thought more songs were going to be like that on the album. That's why I was so thrown off. I was like, what the hell with this No Guidance? I just to let you guys know, I can't stand Drake singing like that. Especially when he goes up against people that can actually sing. Drake should not be singing against people that can actually sing, because he can barely hold a note. Why are you singing? There's no reason for Drake to be singing against Chris Brown. It makes no sense to me. Stop it. Yeah. Just stop. You should have made a party song. They should have done a party song. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. It's blasphemous, bro, what they did with that song. No one's gonna be playing No Guidance. No one's gonna be playing that. No dude is playing No Guidance.
Not long term. I just don't see it playing out that way, and like, we might as well go into it. It's like, why would you put out all these songs with all these different sounds? And I think it's for the streaming platforms.
Yeah,
It's like
that's.
if you
I
can
think they.
get all
So I
these
mean,
songs-
with the label, bro.
Yeah.
It just does. Chris Brown. I really don't think Chris Brown is with that. Dropping all those songs.
Yeah. I think it's
I could be
strictly-
wrong, but bro, I don't think he's with that.
I think it's strictly to remain on the Billboard charts. You
Yeah.
never know which song is going to perform well here or during this time. So it's like, let's throw out a variety, eclectic,
Yeah.
different sounding music that can work here or can work here and can work there. And then, you get to tout up the fact that it's like, well, I've been on Billboard all year. It's like, it's a tactic.
Yeah.
And I think it's hurting. It hurts him musically because any and everybody can. I would think we would all agree. It's like the album could be more cohesive if it was a 12 to 14 track album, not a 30 to 40 something track album.
Playlist.
Just it isn't.
I keep saying this. It's a playlist. Once it goes over 15 songs, it's a playlist.
And then you don't even remember this.
You
is
don't
the hard-
remember it.
You don't remember. It's hard for you to even remember what your favorite song is, and then you have to skip through multiple to find it. You're just gonna end up doing what most people do. It's just like, I'm gonna buy this song here. I'm gonna buy this song here.
Add to
And then
playlist.
create your own playlist.
Yeah.
Like, it defeats the purpose of creating a cohesive album. It doesn't make
It's just-
sense. I think Chris Brown needs to make that transition from young man to adult man.
Boys to men?
Yes, in a way.
Boy to man.
But I'm not a person that subscribes to the philosophy of what manhood means in like today's sense. Like I get it because I'm still a big kid at heart, kind of thing. What I mean is that your way of communicating has to change, in the sense that you're talking about stuff that you're currently dealing with, but it's not just the stuff that society expects you to talk
Yeah.
about, which is sex, drugs, and having fun. Like, you can talk about those things, but there's a way in which you communicate that
Yeah.
to your audience that doesn't feel alienating, that it only relates to young kids that have no idea what you're really going through or what they're going to be going through once
Yeah.
they get older. That's what I'm
Because
talking
it's
about.
weird.
The age
I don't
out
know
thing.
how they feel. Well, how do young kids feel about Chris Brown?
I don't know. I don't feel like he's gaining any new fans. That's what I feel like whoever's holding him down is the people that have been holding him down. But in terms of making that transition where it's like, I'm going to be generating new fans every year like he used to, I don't know if that's going to happen. And he has the benefit of there not being a younger R&B artist that can do what he can do.
Yeah,
That's what-
There's
there's no competition
Chris
for
Brown.
him.
That's
So-
why that's why he's the king.
Yeah.
That's why he's the king. There's no one who could dance like him.
Yeah.
But as soon as the day's kind of ticking, it's ticking down. So
That's why I advise that you get a handle on your communication style.
yeah, and I think Chris Brown, what would help instead of dropping these long freaking projects, is like you said, break it up.
Yeah,
Throughout the year, I think Chris Brown would really benefit because then people are always looking out for him. His name will always be mentioned throughout the year. Mm-hmm. Chris Brown, if he's dropping a project, it's always going to create a lot of buzz.
Yeah.
So if he does that throughout the year, during the summer, during Christmas, holidays type stuff,
Yeah.
he would be mentioned throughout, and then he potentially, because he's working on smaller albums or projects, he could focus more on the music and making it sound better instead of just throwaway songs. I have 200 songs recorded. We'll pick one of them and we'll just put it on the album. Just put it on. So I think that would definitely benefit Chris Brown.
And I think, lastly, I think this is going to be a point that we're going to bring up from this episode onwards, is that the expectation is for artists to almost be generating great stuff forever. But we know that's usually not the case. At a certain point, even the greatest of artists are just playing their old throwback songs. And I mean, creativity is hard. Creating new and different and engaging stuff for years upon years is just, it's just not feasible. It's like, how can you expect one person to do that? We can argue Michael Jackson was able to do that.
Yeah.
But most artists, you see, like, all of them from back in the day, they end up doing, like, reunion or comeback tours, and they're just playing their oldest hits. But I would hate for that to happen to Chris Brown, being, I'm 31, so that means he's 30, being at such a young age where your level of greatness is hampered by you being unable to make new and better engaging stuff. But that can only happen if you get more introspective and really get thoughtful about the type of stuff that you're putting out and how you're communicating that with people. Otherwise, you're just going to stay stagnant, just appealing to stuff that only 16 to 22-year-olds can really be singing about.
Yeah,
because
I don't
of
think they're really
standards.
singing like that, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Everyone, you guys can all just dismiss and just say, nah, I like the album, which is cool, but it's a time is always a factor.
Time is always a factor.
Time is
Everybody's
always
gonna
the truth about how people feel about albums.
This is what's going to end up happening, and I stand by it. Time is a factor, and people can say, wow, I don't know what you're talking about. This album was great, blah, blah, blah. But do you see people listening to certain Chris Brown albums years after they've passed? There's a reason why fame is so held high up there. It's because it has been able to stand the test of time these last few years. Some of his older albums, some of his older works and songs, individual singles have been able to stand. That's why when you look at BET Jams or some of these channels and they do throwback videos, they pay particular attention to which songs they're playing.
Yeah.
It's not oftentimes the newer ones.
Well, throwback is.
Yeah, no. I know what you mean. But it's just like some of these songs that we big up and be like, blah, 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 this has been great and it sounds nice. It doesn't stand the test of time. And they usually go back to the oldest stuff, your beginning stuff, because that's when you were in your purest and rawest form.
When something's
and that's when people
good,
really
it lasts
like
for a shorter time. When something's great, it tests the time. For music,
just how it plays out.
It is. That's how it is for music. That's how it is for most things. That it's just, like I said, you guys could disagree with us and just go like, yo, I don't care. I like the album, but I'm sorry. It's just, we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll
just
see
come
how
back
you
to
feel
it in a few years.
In a few years, hell, next 2 months.
Yeah,
Let's
we
see
have
what happens.
we have a pretty. I think we would agree that we have a pretty good feel or like meter for how things play out in terms of like what is hitting or what hits over several long periods of time. Usually not wrong about that. So I don't think this album will be talked about that much by the end of this month. To be honest with you,
He's lucky
it'll be forgotten.
he didn't have competition.
Yeah, I think
Honestly,
it'll be forgotten,
if he,
which is unfortunate.
If he,
I
Chris
just don't
Brown,
think it lasts.
what you need to do is go back to the dancing. You feel me? That was bad, but go back to the dancing, the music and the dancing. Yes.
I don't care particularly for the
Well,
dancing
you're a
anymore.
hater. Anyways,
Yo.
go back to the dancing because everyone will remember you for that. Everyone always will be. You're the next. You were supposed to be the next MJ, Michael Jackson. Obviously, there was bumps in the road.
Can't be
but
the next MJ when you can't sing and dance at the same time.
Okay. That's why there's. All right, but let me finish. Just let me finish and be quiet. Go back to the dancing. Create some new moves. Just focus on those two things. Creating a new sound. You need a new sound. That's what a lot of people aren't getting. You need a new sound because dude, you're just making the same stuff. You're just adding just new lyrics. That's all it is. That's all you need to do. Come up with cool concepts of music videos. No offense. Stop showing so many goddamn kids dancing. I don't really care to see kids dance. I don't. I'm here to see Chris Brown dance. Pause. That's it. That's it. In the music videos, I'm here to see Chris Brown dance. Pause. That's it. Like, yo, I'm not here to see those other kids dance. Because it's just compilations of bad filtered, shaky video of someone holding up their camera and seeing these kids dance. Why am I watching this right now? Yeah. You got to make these videos make more sense. Like Wall to Wall was a sick concept, bro. That's honestly my favorite video by Chris Brown. How he did all that, like that was sick. Mm-hmm. But he hasn't had a video like that. It's always with kids dancing, parties, Back to Love. It's always that. Like, Undecided was sick. I know I keep, like, gassing that song up, but it was a perfect song. I thought he was going to follow through with that type of sound. He did not. Great video, great song, but he didn't. If he went with that route, I guarantee you, the album. If he went with that sound, the album would have done way better because people don't. That's the thing. Chris Brown's one of those people where he has the luxury to make nice songs. People don't. A lot of these R&B artists, they can't make nice songs. Chris Brown can because he solidified his position through his work. Yeah, his reputation. He can make those nice songs and everyone will rock with it. And we don't get a lot of those nice songs.
Yeah,
and Chris Brown can really do that. But I don't know, his team just doesn't allow him to do that.
I'm going to let Jacquees take his spot.
Hell no. Jacquees can't dance.
I was just joking.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Jacquees like 5'2"? What is he?
No. Hell if I know.
Anyways, I'm right about this.
I think you're right, and I think he needs to learn to sing and dance in his concerts at the same time too. That'll solidify him as a better entertainer. I understand you doing flips, you can't sing. You're out of breath after you do a couple backflips, bro. You just can't be like. I get it, but I'm just like, in order to stand the test of being all time great, your candle can't fizzle out around your 30s. It shouldn't.
Yeah, so 30s is like the new prime.
Yeah, exactly, especially with our generation. 30 is young, so Chris Brown should be able to be making music until he's 40, 50.
Like you said, my bad.
No, go ahead.
Like you said, Chris Brown, change your sound. That means change the content. Make everything nice again.
Wait, what do you mean by... Explain what you mean by nice. Explain what...
Just make everything positive again. That doesn't mean, stealing... I'll be your side piece. Bro,
isn't there a song called Side Nigga?
I think they're... Yeah. That's a song. I'm like, bro, that's... First of all, that song was garbage.
Yeah, it was.
Second, it's like, bro, I don't want to be the side. I'm the main priority. I'm player one, bro. Especially Chris Brown. Why are you thinking... Chris Brown, you're Chris Brown, bro. Why are you thinking yourself as player two, bro? Like, that makes no sense. But anyways, stop all that. But he needs to just... Because people wouldn't expect it from Chris Brown. Mm-hmm. And that would be a good thing. Where it's just like, one song's like, oh, that was a nice song. It's like really cool. Then back to back. And he just keeps doing that. Obviously, it wouldn't be 32 songs of that. But a lot of times, like especially with R&B artists, these R&B artists all sing about the same stuff. Stealing your girl, all that. It's like Chris Brown just said it. He has the luxury of doing that. And people expect Chris Brown doing one thing, then he does another thing. And that would be perfect for him to do that. That's just me. I said my piece. I'm pretty much done with this.
And he, it's so funny that you said that everybody kind of sings the same, does the same content. And I agree with you that it would be beneficial if he went the opposite direction. Yeah. But it becomes a question if he can as an artist. And that's really what it comes down to, is what is your capability? What are you really able to do? And time will only tell, because whether Chris Brown wants to or not, the consumers will determine what his direction will be. And he has to find a balance between listening to himself and listening to what the consumers want, because the consumers can lead you astray by always supporting your stuff, even though the quality has dipped. And then you wonder, like, what the hell happened? Why am I not where I'm supposed to be? Well, it's like you didn't make adjustments when you needed to. You didn't follow. You followed the trends instead of creating the trends. Yeah. And that's a fine balance as an artist. I think he has to walk, especially being in his position and being at the top, because there's always people looking to knock you down. It's just the time hasn't come yet where somebody could knock you out. So I would just be very aware of that.
That's pretty much it.
I wanted to like the album, I just didn't.
I wanted to, but I just shit got in the way. But anyways, that's pretty much it for today's episode. If you guys, we might talk about that Russ interview.
Yeah, we
It
probably
was pretty
should.
damn good.
We
That was
probably
10 out of
should.
10.
There's a lot of
Good
there's
job,
a lot
Joe
of
Budden.
stuff in that interview that I think
That needs to be discussed.
Yeah.
We need a part 2 of Fuck Russ.
yeah.
That was it. That was just
Yeah,
the
that
title
is-
of it, but
that-
we don't believe in that.
Yeah.
You know? If you watch the video, we don't believe in. Yeah, watch the video, but
Yeah.
watch all our videos actually. But yeah, that's it for tonight. Today's episode tonight.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chris Brown, Indigo. I give it like a this. Like it's not this. It's like this.
I give a number review. I give
5?
it a 5.
5.
I don't.
I think I
don't
agree.
think I'm gonna re-listen to it. I can't. I just.
I
it's
give it a-
too-
I give
It's
it a
3
5.
projects in one, basically,
Yeah. Yeah.
and all of them don't match the cohesion. I don't know. Understand people say
If
this
you
is a
think-
cohesive album.
If
Anyways,
you you think we're wrong, there's only one way to prove that.
Comment.
Comment,
Say we're
like,
wrong.
subscribe. That's a nice segue. Thank you guys for watching. You guys just finished another episode of Understated with the one and only Ken Wall.
it's your boy Deja Wonder.
Have a good one, guys. We're out. Peace.
Bring it on.